Hi everyone. So today's class is a fun one. We're going to start off with our palms together, hands at our heart, taking deep inhales and exhales. Place one hand on the chest and one on the belly and really feel the fullness of those inhales and the fullness of our exhales. Let your bellies get nice and big as you're going and your chest get really open. We're going to release the palms down, facing forward. Inhale, looking up at our thumbs. Exhaling, releasing the hands down. And we're going to move in this way with our breath. So inhaling, arms up, and exhaling. Inhaling, and exhaling. Inhaling, and exhaling. So we want to keep moving the belly button back as we fold forward, hands on the mat. Inhale, lift up onto the tips of the fingers. Exhale, fold. Inhale, tips of our fingers, and exhaling, fold. Inhale again, stretching the back really long on those inhales, and exhale, folding forward. Keeping our backs nice and extended as we're here. We're going to interlace our fingers behind our back, let the arms come up and over. Letting the weight of the arms draw ourselves closer towards the mat. We're looking back towards our shins. And we might even be shifting the weight from the balls of our feet to the heels of our feet here. Releasing the hands back onto the lower back, bending our knees, coming into Utkatasana or seat of the soul. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. We're going to draw the hips as far back as possible, so we're sitting back in our hips. Inhaling, lifting the hands up, keeping the tailbone tucked under. Again, belly button moving back. Palms of our hands together at our heart. We're going to bring our elbow to the outside of the knee and pressing into the palms of the hands, we're going to twist right here. We're still trying to keep the knees as on top of the elbows as possible here. Inhale, coming back into center, and exhale to the other side. So pressing into the palms of the hands to complete the twist. Let's come into the center, wrapping the hands along the backs of our thighs and straightening the legs up so we're feeling that stretch all the way through the hamstrings. And here again, I'm shifting the weight from the heels to the balls of my feet before I release the palms of my hand down. And we're coming into a little bit of an arm balance. So first we're just on the tips of our toes, feeling the shifting of the weight into the hands, starting to explore how it feels to lift those legs up. So first we're going to stretch up into our standing split, and we're reaching the right leg up towards the ceiling. And again, it really is different. Our bodies are going to look really different in the way that we do this. We're going to reach back and take our left arm around the back of our left calf, drawing ourselves as close as possible. And the goal is one day maybe that leg stretches straight up towards the ceiling. Who knows? Exhaling, folding forward, we're going to stretch the other side up. And again, pressing into the palms of our hands, we're reaching the foot up behind us, pressing into the opposite leg, and we're going to take that right hand back and wrapping the right forearm along the back of the right calf. Breathing here. And coming onto the tips of our toes, bending the knees, inhaling, lifting the hands up. And we're still on the tips of our toes here, and we're going to stretch all the way up, still trying to stay on the tips of our toes. Your balance is going to be shaky. That's a good thing. It means all those tiny little muscles are working to keep you engaged. Exhale, release the hands down to the waist. So again, I'm reestablishing my balance by shifting my weight from the balls of my feet to the heels of my feet, bringing the palms of my hands together at my heart. Taking a breath, interlacing the fingers, pressing down through the palms, inhaling, arms up. Looking up towards the ceiling, arching the back, exhaling, hands past the heart, past the belly button. Inhaling, arms up. Opening up the back, opening up the chest, palms together, past the heart, past the belly button. Inhaling. And you can look up here if that feels good. Inhale, open the chest. exhaling, palms of the hands together, past the heart, past the belly. And inhaling, arms up. Let's folding forward. Again, reaching the hands to either side of the feet. Inhaling, lifting onto tips of our fingers. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling, folding. Wrapping our hands along the backs of our calves. And releasing the hands again forward. We're coming onto the tips of our toes, coming down into a little bit of a squat. Again, on the tips of our toes here. We're going to work and bring the palms of our hands together at our heart. Hold on to that balance. Breathing right here. Inhaling, coming up into standing. So I'm coming to face forward. I'm rolling my head to one side and taking my hand onto the opposite side, drawing the ear towards the shoulder. These stretches, even though they maybe feel small, are really good for all the time that we spend hunched over. So rolling towards the other side and taking the other palm and stretching it back so we can really get into our shoulders and our necks in a deeper way. Rolling the chin along the chest to either side and breathing here. And rolling along the back of our necks. Rolling our shoulders back, let's place our hands on our shoulders as we roll them back and take big, big circles so that we're really moving through the joints, and then switching sides. Breathing here, inhaling and exhaling, drawing the arm in front of the chest and bending at the opposite elbow. Again, we're really trying to shift out some space in between the shoulder blades here when we do this. Again, really crucial for all the time we spend hunched over, on our phones, on our laptops. Getting set up again, I'm going to bring my right arm in front and then take the palms back to back, and they can stay there or I can keep twisting. So you can hang out right here with the arms this way, or you can add a leg. So we're just going to do a modification in this version, and we're going to take that right thigh over the left, crossing at the knee. Now, the extended version would mean that we're taking that foot and wrapping it around the back of the calf. But we don't have to go there yet. We can just start right here. Let's untwist. Inhaling the opposite arm up. And again, palms back to back, or keep twisting them so those palms touch. And then we take the left leg over the left thigh, sinking into our hips here and breathing right here. And let's release, untwist, stretching the arms out to a T. And we're going to cross them over each other and switching which arm is on top each time. Taking the arms all the way behind us, we're going to bring them into reverse prayer. I'm going to turn around and show you just what I mean. You want to bring the heels of your hands as close together as possible, but I also want to show you that that is hard, and it's okay if they're not touching and maybe just the tips of your fingers are touching. And we're going to breathe here, opening the chest. Again, this really helps relaxing the shoulder blades and stretching in a way that we don't often get to. Inhaling, reaching the arms up, bringing the interlaced fingers behind our head, releasing the head back. Again, opening up. We're really trying to stretch out the back of the body in a way that it doesn't often get to. Bringing the elbows close together, we're going to bring the palms back together to the heart. And we're going to step back up to the front of our mats. Hands to the waist, we're going to jump our feet wider than hip distance apart, about shoulder width distance apart. Exhaling, folding forward. Peace fingers and thumbs grab onto our big toes. And let's start stretching towards the mat, rolling the shoulders back, elbows out to either side. We're working towards a straight leg here, opening up the hips towards the ceiling. And again, pulling. We're pulling the crown of the head towards the mat as we breathe here. Inhaling, lifting up, straightening up the arms. Exhaling, let's take the palms of the hands underneath the feet so the toes touch the wrist. Looking back through our thighs. And breathing right here. Again, rolling our shoulders back, allowing those shoulder blades to move up. We're going to bend the knees here. Just getting a deeper little stretch, resetting. I like to bend the knees just to, again, give myself a break and then move deeper into the stretch. Straighten the legs up a little more. Let's lean back and slide the hands on top of the feet. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, we're going to step the feet back a little farther, and here's that arm balance we were prepping for. We're going to start leaning the knees against the back of the arms and just start exploring. It might be 1 foot at a time, or we're going to lift both of our feet up off the mat. Yeah, and get our balance going. Release the feet down and give yourself a little bit of a stretch with the palms on the ground. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, let's sweep the arms all the way up, hands together at the heart. Palms together, coming back into mountain pose or Tadasana. Inhaling, arms up, exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, tips of our fingers, exhaling, folding, stepping our leg back, coming down onto the knee. We're bringing both of our hands to the inside of the right calf, and we're rolling onto the pinky toe side of the foot, opening up through the hip here in a very deep lunge. And you can stay right here. If you want, you can come all the way down onto your forearms like this. But if that is too much, you can absolutely stay exactly where you are and get the stretch up a little higher. So placing the foot back on the mat, we're going to turn the left toes under, lift the knee up off the ground, and bringing that palm, pressing into it and reaching the other arm up towards the ceiling. This feels awesome. Like, it's such a beautiful stretch, and opening up the body in this way is really great. Stepping back into downward dog, kind of a lazy one because we're on the tips of our toes. Inhale, coming into plank, lowering down. Inhaling into upward dog. Exhaling, drawing back into downward dog. And breathing right here. Pressing the heels towards the mat, pushing the ground away from us. Inhaling, looking in front of us. Bending our knees and stepping or jumping our feet in between the palm of our hands. Inhale, lifting up onto the tips of our fingers. Exhaling, folding forward. And let's step the right leg back. Bringing both of our hands to the inside of the left, we're going to roll onto the pinky toe side of the foot. And again, we can stay right here, or if you're feeling open to it, you can come all the way down onto your forearms. Breathing right here. And again, we're really opening up the hips here. Roll onto that pinky toe as much as you can. Pressing up onto the palms of our hands, let's place the foot back on the mat. Tuck the toe under. And we're going to step into the stretch on the other side. You see how the back leg now comes down on a 45 so that I'm really grounded. I'm stretching up through the palm. My fingertips are close together. Releasing the hands down into either side of the foot. Turning so that I can step back into plank. Inhaling into upward dog. Exhaling back into downward dog. And breathing here. So I'm bending my knees and going nice and slow, being more playful and intentional in downward dog so I can feel that stretch a little deeper. Bend the knees. Step or jump your feet in between the palms of your hands. Inhale, lift up onto the tips of your fingers. Exhale, fold. And inhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, folding. Inhale, tips of our fingers. Exhale, step or jump your feet back into plank. Inhaling, exhaling. We're going to come down onto our forearms here. And coming into a low plank. I don't know if you can hear, my dog is sleeping and dreaming in the background. So drawing my hips back into child's pose. You know, I love this pose, and I always recommend it as a place you can come to at any point in your practice. So here I am coming back into a wide-legged squat. And I'm on the tips of my toes. But again, if you can feel comfortable coming down to your heels, that's perfect. Palms of our hands together, bring our elbows to the insides of our knees. We're going to press those palms together, open up the legs. You see how aligned my spine is here? I'm going to start to wrap, reach back, and bind. If you feel like it's very difficult to grab onto your hands, you can always take a sock and just grab onto the sock so that you're using that to bridge any space that would be in between your hands when you're binding. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. And you can see from the other side what that bind looks like. Drawing down through the shoulders, opening up through the chest, looking up at the ceiling, and breathing right here. Palms together, and let's inhale, come back up into standing. And let's walk back to the front of our mat. Turning our palms upwards, we're going to inhale the arms up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhaling, folding. And we're going to step back with the right leg. Interlace the fingers on top of the left thigh. And pushing back. You can see how I really tried to align myself before I inhale my arms up. So we're working on tucking the tailbone here, drawing the belly button back towards the spine. Let's fold forward, both of our hands on the mat. We've done this one before. Again, a nice little arm balance. And thighs on top of the leg as we lower down. Again, the goal is to get both of the legs off the ground, but again, I'm offering you a modification here so you can explore the pose without committing to it. Let's step both of the legs back together, folding forward. And we're coming back into a lunge on the other side, interlacing the fingers on top of the right thigh. Again, watch me roll the shoulders back, sink deeper into my hips, inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, folding. And again, we're sliding the shoulder underneath the leg, folding forward, stretching that leg out. And we're going to step that leg back into plank, and then inhaling upward dog, exhaling into downward dog. Bending our knees. Alternating from side to side. Stretching out through the hips. Let's bend those knees and step or jump your feet in between your hands. And the jump is also a good prep for arm balances. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, folding forward, hands to either side of the feet. Lifting up, tips of our fingers. Really folding into that stretch. Placing our hands in front of us and stepping back into plank, lowering down, inhaling upward dog. Exhaling, drawing back into downward dog. We're going to do a little twist right here. Again, these are all good preps for arm balancing because they start to explore what it feels like to support more weight on one arm. And let's reach and hit the other side, hit the other ankle. Grabbing with our left arm. Breathing here. And let's bend our knees. Stepping or jumping our feet back together. Folding forward, inhaling, arms all the way up. And we wrap here. If you want to see the rest, by all means, come and check me out and become a member on my website. Thanks, everyone.